Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings about finding belonging. We are using the basic Rider-Waite Tarot, and we are using the Elder Futhark on Willow runes. So, feel into the cards. One or more of these cards will have a reading for you about finding belonging in your personal path. I will put the timestamps. Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4. I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello to those of you who chose card number 1 for these readings about finding belonging. So let's turn this, and we'll see what the key is to finding belonging where you are currently. Ooh. Okay, so... Three of Swords. It looks like there is going to be a delay in what you're seeking. However, I think what this is basically urging is it's going to be a bit hard to wait, but definitely give it some patience. I'm just going to start with the runes. Get some clarity on this, because Three of Swords, man. So I'm going to lay out the entire reading, and then we're going to go from there. It's like the key to your finding belonging is, oh my gosh. That's okay. The runes are going to make it right. Final rune in the spread. Where is it? Which one is it? Is that it? Wait a minute. Okay. Ooh. I'm so sorry, card number 1, people. This is like a kind of a tricky reading. But let's start. Central issue for this reading about your finding belonging. We have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health, and also stubbornness in terms of stick-to-itiveness. So we're in a situation where right now you're sort of feeling like it's your inner strength. Maybe you have felt a bit upended as far as strength, like the ox. And, you know, I'm thinking about the musk ox right now, but, you know, oxen sort of have similar, probably similar instincts, but they just basically will, you know, they band together and they sort of face outwards and protect what's inside. So sort of, I get this sense that for you, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy to sort of have that sense of harmonic resonance with the people around you, as far as feeling a sense of belonging where you can just move and everybody moves harmonically. There is a sense that you're sort of doing this, that you're relying on your own inner strength for this. You may feel as though see, the thing about the resistance aspect of this, which is removed when it's reversed, there is, like, you're very strong inwardly, like you're really, really strong inwardly. But there's a sense that outwardly there's like a forced lack of resistance to what's happening around you. And it's like, there's nothing you can do about it, it feels like sometimes. But really, like, Uber's reversed, it's kind of like you're not feeling as grounded or as stable just outwardly. Leading up to this, we have Peritho, which is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. You may have had a revelation, maybe not necessarily a bad one, but just sort of, you know, something has caught you by surprise, and you sort of have ended up being, well, I mean, obviously it wouldn't have been a pleasant one if it ended up with making you feeling upended. So, but anyway, there was something that was revealed. And the thing about the lot box is the things that are revealed are something that was always in there. It was already the case. It's just you didn't know about it yet. And so that's the kind of thing that happened. There was like a revelation of something, and this sort of made you feel like the rug had been pulled out from under you. And so maybe that's why you are looking for belonging now, is because you feel like you've been, I want to say, betrayed, not necessarily betrayed, but you are in sort of a grieving mode for what you thought it was, or for what it was. But now that something's been revealed, it can't be that anymore. And so there is going to be a delay between where you felt, you know, going blithely along, feeling like you were belonging, But then this happened, this thing that happened, and now you're sort of, it again feels like the rug has been pulled out from under you, and you are relying on your own inner strength and your own inner resilience, whereas outwardly you're sort of scrambling to find ground to stand on. So what's going to help you is just keep moving forward. We have Rider, which is the rune of the journey. Just basically one step at a time, one step forward and then the next step forward. Just keep moving, continue your journey, see this as a chapter in your journey, and just basically keep moving forward on your journey. You know, I'm going to say don't look back. Just basically just keep moving forward. Keep directing your journey forward. What isn't going to help is we have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. It's in the lower line. There may be, I mean, just very, very, very surface, there may be some concerns about money or, you know, wealth or sense of worth. Mostly I'm seeing like more like one's life's worth. Just kind of things like my life doesn't feel like, I'm just worried about the sense of worth that my life has now, because this is something that really shook me, kind of thing. And so that you're sort of questioning the worth. It's not reversed. It's just sort of the focus is on, I mean, it's a very positive rune in a negative spot. So that usually means a worry about that thing. So you're just very concerned about, you know, the worth, the aspects of wealth in your life that you tend. That's what the Fehu is, cattle. So it's the wealth that you tend. It's not necessarily money. But just basically concerns about that, because this shook you so much. This that happened. So if that starts to be the case, just bring yourself back up to just like, I'm doing what I can, which is taking one step at a time forward. I'm just continuing moving forward and carrying my journey forward. And that's what's going to help the most. Your next step on the path after this moment is Ingvaz, which is the rune of Ing. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I do read this one as active creation. So you're basically going to be going, okay, I need to shape my life into something that I'm comfortable with, and that's what you're going to be doing. You're working with what you have, and you're shaping what's around you to sort of to give you what you need, to give you more grounding, to give you, you know, stability again. What is going to help you? I don't know why I was talking about what isn't. I will get to it. What is going to help you is we have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. It's beginnings and birth. I'm seeing this as, you know, see this as a new beginning, see this as like an incubation of a new beginning. Like it's like you're starting fresh, and sort of to embrace that. It's like, if I'm working with what I have around me to shape what I want to have around me, to give myself the stability I need, then I'm going to basically embrace that fact that it's like, okay, it's like starting fresh. We can build from the ground up. We can really just get really foundational about this and just like, okay, what do I need from like a almost molecular level to get this around me? So we are just embrace the new beginning, basically, because it's such a new beginning. It's like way the heck back, to the point where it's starting deep and inwardly. What isn't going to help is we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. The gift is always an exchange. It has to do with agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. Sometimes it does have to do with a one-on-one relationship, so that may also come up. It's a very positive rune in a negative spot again, so it is worries about those things. You are probably still, mentally at least, clinging to obligations that you had been carrying while this was going on, before the revelation happened, and so you're worried about that. You're worried about, you know, these things that you feel like you still have to do, but it's not there to do anymore. And also, if this was a one-on-one, if like this was a personal, like an interpersonal thing that happened, there are worries about that one-on-one interaction that are still going to dog you. If that starts to be the case, just bring yourself back up to, it's like, no, you know what, I'm recreating my life right now. I'm having a new beginning. I'm starting really fresh. Like really fresh, like factory settings fresh. And so that's what's going to help you the most at this point. Next step is we have the blank rune. So it's just basically blank page. In your life, you're basically looking at this going, yeah, so fresh start, fresh page, fresh chapter. I have around me what I need to keep me grounded and stable. So, you know, what am I going to do now? Like looking around, and I'm like, it's all new. So it may feel a bit lonely, given that the point of the reading is finding belonging, but you are starting from a very, very fresh place. What is going to help you? We have Laguz reversed. I'm going to read this a few ways. First of all, I do often see Laguz reversed as referring to dreams. If you don't remember your dreams, just what you're seeing around you, the things that have meaning for you that are appearing around you in your field of vision. So whether this is dreams or that, or dreams and or that, look to those, because that's going to guide you. What is going to catch your eye is where your heart's at. So just basically follow that. Follow what is being shown to you as far as what is meaningful for you that is being shown to you. The other way I'm going to read this is keeping on top of negative emotions, just sort of surfing them. You're going to have these things rise up, but you're going to be like, okay, you know what? I acknowledge this. I take this as the counselor it is, but I'm just going to try to let that stay where it is. Like, I'm going to let that flow through, but I'm just going to sort of surf it. The other way I'm seeing this as is just sort of, this is inner flow. So just sort of letting the things flow inwardly, like I was saying with the surfing the emotions, but it's also just letting emotions flow inwardly, like just see them as the weather they are. What isn't going to help at that point is we have algae, again, another very positive rune in a negative spot. It's worries about support. Basically, it's protection and support. It's the elk or the moose, depending on what continent you're on. And it's basically worries about protection and support because you've been through it. But what's going to help you is, once again, surf negative emotions, let your emotions flow like the weather they are, and also just watch for the meaningful, intuitive signs that you're getting around you, because this is going to guide you, basically. What this is all going to lead you to is you are going to be facing a challenge at the end of all this path. You're going to be sort of facing a thorn wall. It's almost like, this has hurt you so much that you're basically, when you get to the point where you're ready to try to find that sense of belonging again, you look like it feels like you're looking at a thorn wall. It's basically, but it's your thorn wall. So it's something that it's something you can't really get through, but you can find your way over it or under it. And you know what? I'm just going to give you a little bit more. Yeah, patience. Patience is going to help you get over this wall. Just take it one step at a time, like you did when you first started. Just take it one step at a time, and there will be a breakthrough at the end of that. So just give yourself the patience that you need. Give yourself the time. Take it step by step, and you will get past this thorn wall that this caused. And then the sun will shine again. You'll have the illumination again. So I'm sorry you went through that. That's just so upsetting, and virtual hugs and all. That's your reading for Finding Belonging. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2 people. So we're going to start with turning this card to see what the key is to your Finding Belonging. And we have the 4 of Swords. So this is basically, you're going to take a breather. The key to finding belonging is, because I think maybe it may be something that's just like you're wishing for it so hard and you're just wanting it so much that I think you need to maybe sleep on it. Give your straining a bit of a rest and just let yourself meditate or rest. Just like let yourself rest. You can do that. It's fine. Your dreams your ideal will remain an ideal while you're sleeping, and this will help you to sort things out internally. And you won't be as stressed because you'll be sleeping. Unless you've got like the nightmare thing going on, but that's another story. So let's get some runes down and get some clarity on this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's exactly the same central issue that we had with the first reading I did for these. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, because you had this plan. It's like you had a plan to do this. Oh my gosh, the runes are literally jumping out for this reading. Like they are literally, like I just retrieved one from the floor. So the runes are very eager to tell you things today. Card number 2, people. Okay. A lot of the same runes from the previous reading, but in different order, which alters the meaning entirely. I mean, look at the alphabet. It's like, these are the same letters. I read this book. It's like, no. Okay. Your central issue for this reading is Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and resilience and stick-to-itiveness and stubbornness sometimes. It is reversed in the central issue spot. So there is a sense of, as relates to this, it's like giving it a rest. Like you've been pushing really, 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 really hard, I think, on this. And, when you try too hard on something, it just ends up being exasperating. So it's like, give it a bit of a rest. You have been feeling like, I think the main reason you've been seeking this is that you've been feeling like you haven't got stability. Like you're feeling like, I need the stability of this. And who can blame you for that? Nobody. So it's just like this frantic thing, and you're just using all of your strength to push as hard as you can, and it's exhausting. So you need to be resting. Like this is also, you're going to keep your strength. You're keeping your strength. You always have the inner strength. And even when you're lying down, you are inherently strong. However, let go of your resistance to rest. Like this is something that you're going to need to have, is just let yourself rest. Your brain will sort things out for you. Leading up to this, we have Gabo. Gabo's the rune of the gift. This is also an exchange. This has to do with, it can have to do with one-on-one relationships and interactions. However, I'm really seeing this as agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. So you actually had this plan that you wanted to do this, and you wanted to find this because it's important for you, because you feel that it will give you the stability you need. And it's been driving you crazy because it's not easy. It's really not. You can't just store buy this kind of thing. You have to, it's like lots of effort and not effort, but there's a lot of time involved. You have to take the time. You have to give yourself patience and the time and presence to where you want to be. And, when you are where you want to be and where you feel like you have that sense of belonging starting, then you just be there. So what's going to help you? We have Othala, which is the home and the homeland. You're going to start with what you have. There are parts of your life where you do feel a sense of belonging, even if it's only on your own. Like if you, home, you want to have things around you in your home that make you happy and comfortable and feel like you belong, where you are, where you need to be. And this is where you're going to start, just having this, just recognizing and acknowledging and feeling yourself in these places or situations where you feel you belong. And that's where you're going to start. It's like, where do I feel like this already? And we're going to build from that. So let's say, for an example, maybe you love art, and maybe you love art galleries, and maybe you love to be in art galleries, and maybe it just gives you joy and feeling like you are where you want to be when you are in an art gallery. So go be at art galleries, go to art shows, go to these events, and you will meet other people who feel that way. And then this is where you're going to start to build that sense of belonging. But you can't just go there like once a year and say, oh my gosh, I love this art gallery, and then go home and go, why don't I feel I belong anywhere? So it's basically, to start with where you already feel happy and comfortable and that sense of belonging in your life. And from there, let it bloom. But give yourself, make the time in your life to give yourself that and spend time in that. And that's really going to help you a lot, because and it's you're going to feel more comfortable, and you're going to be happier, because if you're always happy when you do a thing like that, then you're going to be happier anyway, and you will have around you things that are going to make you feel happy. What isn't going to help is you're going to feel like you're worried about energy levels. We have Willow, the sun. You feel like I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to spend all this time for something that I want right now. It's like, well, when you are doing the thing that makes you happy and feel like you belong, energy levels aren't an issue. You have all the energy. It energizes you already. So it's not like you're expected to spend, 100 days in an art gallery all at once. You are going to spend a few hours in an art gallery enjoying it, and then go home and have that happiness and glow of like, I enjoyed being in that art gallery, and maybe I spoke to somebody who also enjoys being in an art gallery this time. Or not, maybe you just spoke to one of the guides and you were like, oh, I love this, and you talked about it. But these just the little things, and they're going to build up, and it's good. But you don't have to expend all of your energy to do the whole thing immediately. So bring yourself back to just like focus on where you already feel that sense of belonging. And this is why resting and sort of meditating on it are going to help you, because it will bubble to the surface. It's like, oh yeah, those things I really love to do, I'm just going to do that more. And even if it's not immediate that I'm going to find this wonderful surrounding of feeling of belonging, I will be happier because I'm doing these things that I love and that always energize me. So next step on the path, we have these two were in the last reading exactly in this spot. It's neat. So anyway, your next step is that you're going to start really, once you've started this, you're going to start to notice this more in your life, and you're going to be saying, okay, I'm going to sort of start to build my life in a way where I'm going to have more of this. So this is Ingvaz, it's Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god. I do see this as active creation. So you are like actively, consciously making an effort to put this in your life. Like these things that you love and these things that give you that sense of belonging, you're going to make sure that you're including this in your life. What is going to help you is we have algaes, which is the rune of the elk or the moose, and it has to do with protection and support. This is what you want. This is part of the whole quest for belonging thing. And when you are doing these things, you feel like you are in a situation where you are supported, where you feel safer and where you feel more comfortable and protected. And this is the fact that the more you're doing this, the more you're going to have access to this is really, really going to help you. What isn't going to help is we have Nauthi's reversed. Nauthi's is the rune of need. It always means tend your needs. When it's upside down, it always means, it tends to mean drop everything and tend your needs. It's an emergency thing. You still have that sense of, I want this now. I want it. I need it immediately. And I won't feel grounded until I have it. And I won't feel stable until I have it. And it's just like this frantic feeling that comes from like this whole lead up that is still there. It's like, I just need it. I need it. I need it. It's also inner needs when it's reversed, but it's just sort of like, there is still that underlying franticness that you feel like, and again, it's not something you can store by. So you can't rush this kind of thing. You can't push this river to be faster. So, but just bring yourself back up to, it's like, when I am doing these things that I'm making a choice to have more of in my life, I always feel like really good. I feel the way that I want to feel when I'm doing this. So I don't have to frantically try to do it when I'm doing these things. So as long as I'm doing these things and as long as I'm making time in my life for these things to be in it, I will have this feeling. So I won't feel as frantic anymore about it. And I know that I'm working towards putting more of it in my life. What your next step is Laguz. Laguz is the rune of the water. It's emotion, intuition, and heart and flow. So just basically let your emotions flow. First of all, you'll be letting your emotions flow because at this point you have so much of this in your life that is helping you. You can see all of this as weather, like the emotions, like even the things that flare up and you're like, I have to. It's not going to be so bad because you're seeing it's like, yes, but right now, okay, I'm not at the art gallery right now to continue my example, but I will be. I'm going to be going there 2 days from now. So it's going to be very comfortable and I can think about it. I can remember the last time. So just sort of, you're going to be, your emotions are going to be, okay, the other way I'm going to read this is your emotions are going to be coming back. Maybe you haven't been feeling them very well. And now that you're doing things that are enriching you, it's like you're reconnecting with your soul and it's feeling a lot better and you're getting emotions surging up, which is weird, but you're riding it out because it's weather. What is going to help you? We have the blank rune, which is, it's staying open. I also usually read this as connecting to the divine, whatever the divine is for you, whether this is nature, whether this is, a higher power, any of that kind of thing. Whatever you consider the divine, your higher self, any of that kind of thing, have a connection to that because that helps you to stay open. It helps you to have a bit of trust in the natural grace of things and natural timings of things. And as you flow forward and as you start to feel again anything that isn't panic and franticness, that's going to help, is just staying open and just sort of trusting, because now that you're doing these things that you like so much, it's easier to ride that flow. What isn't going to help is we have Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. You're still feeling frantic. You're still feeling like you want to manifest a thing. There may even be just that aspect, just very basically, of I want to talk to people. And you do when you're doing these things. You're meeting like-minded people, but it's just sort of, it's the frantic still. Bring yourself back up to where you are trusting the natural timing of things and the natural grace of things. And that's what's going to help you the most as you move forward in the flow. Ultimately, happy ending. Well, not really an ending, but happy end of the chapter. We have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. You will be seeing the fruits of your labors. You will be seeing nourishment coming through from this, and you will feel like you've completed this quest for it by the end of these steps. It's basically you're going to get that nourishment from it, and you're going to feel like, okay, I did it, I've arrived, we can move forward in our new chapter where we have more of a sense of belonging than before. So that, card number 2, people, is your reading for finding belonging. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye! Hello, card number 3, people. So we're going to start by turning this card and seeing what the key is to your finding belonging. And we have Page of Swords. So you are ready to set out and express your truth in the world. This is good. It's, to get out there, like, just take that first step, because that's the key. So you want to do that. You want to express your truth. All good. So let's get some runes down to clarify that. Page of Swords. Into the air. Air. Clouds. I'm going to lay out the entire reading and then I'm going to read it. Law. How are you? How are you, card number 3, people? I hope you're doing well. I hope that wherever you are in the world and whenever you find this reading that you are feeling well and that you've done something fun recently. Okay, your central issue, card number 3, people, for this reading is Thurizaz, and Thurizaz is the rune of the challenge. It is upright, so it's an open door. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. So it's a challenge, but it's not a hard challenge. The door is open. The challenge is just going to be stepping through it. And that's what this page is doing. He's just like, I am ready. I just have to start. And so that's where you're at. You're just like, I am ready, but I just have to start. Leading up to this, you have actually recently had an epiphany, like this big revelation, like this big realization in your life. We have Dagaz, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. It's like, whoa, that's a big truth. I got to do something with that. I'm going to go out there and do a thing. And so right now you're standing at the door is open, and you're like, I am going to go out there with my sword of truth and I'm going to do this thing. You're not through yet, but you're planning it. You're looking through the door and you're ready, but you're just there. What is going to help you? We have Avaz, which is the rune of the horse. This has to do with movement and also spirit. So it is reversed. So what's helping you right now is giving yourself this moment to collect yourself. You're not rushing forward just yet. You're rushing forward inwardly, like you're letting your spirit carry you inwardly, but you are just basically waiting a moment. You're giving yourself a moment to take a deep breath so that you can move through this door to what's beyond. What isn't going to help is you are going to feel pressured to move forward. So because you're very excited because you have this big revelation, this big epiphany, this big realization. Your entire field of vision is illuminated and you're like, I'm so excited. But if you rush through the door right now, you will be a bit breathless with it. You'll be like, wait. But you want to gather yourself. Give yourself a moment for your spirit to catch up with you and be ready with you when you move through this door together with spirit, basically, whatever spirit is for you. But that's where you're at right now. Like this moment, you're very excited. And I get that because it's a big world and it's exciting and you have a big truth inside you that you want to express in the world. But this is the moment where you're going to just take a moment and breathe. You're going to breathe in just before you go through. So next step, you've gone through the door. After you've done this, like, this is just a moment. This is a moment. When you go through the door, the first thing that's going to happen is you are going to have such a revelation about yourself. It's going to be like, wow, this about me. This is a thing about me that I didn't realize, but that was always the case. We have Pertho, which is the Pertho reversed. So we have Pertho, which is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. It is reversed and it's on the path line. So this has to do with it's surprises, but it's surprises that were always there. Whatever's in the lot box was already in the lot box. It's just only been revealed to you now. And you wouldn't know this about yourself until you stepped through this door and were standing on the other side of the door. And then you were like, whoa, this that I have just learned about myself. Very exciting. Now, Pertho reversed can also have to do with a slightly unpleasant surprise or a unpleasant surprise, basically. So there may be some aspect of what you're suddenly realizing that maybe takes you aback a bit, as far as you're looking at this going, ooh, that's a surprise. It was kind of always there, but I didn't know, and now I know about it, and it's like, ugh. Which is why it will basically create a situation where you have to stop everything and deal with it. So whether this is something that you've learned about yourself, and then you now have new inner needs to deal with, or this is something that was an unpleasant surprise that you now have an emergency to deal with, that you have to drop everything and tend this need, or both. It could be something that you find out about yourself that you have to drop everything and deal with. Either way, at this point, you are going to pause. Even if you did psych yourself up perfectly well, you're going to step through the door. Suddenly, wow, this realization or this surprise that stops you in your tracks, and you need to deal with it. Whether it's doing some inner work where you're going to deal with this inner need. This is Nauthiz, it's the rune of need. Upright, it's just always tend your needs, but when it's reversed, it's immediately drop everything you need to tend your needs, and or tend your inner needs. There are inner needs involved that you need to take care of before you move forward. What isn't going to help is you are still so eager to get out there, and you're going to feel like, if I do this, if I stop and take care of this, I'm losing time. I had so much time in my life that I didn't do this, and I don't know how much time I have left. I don't even know that I have anything to show for it right now. So it's just like this feeling of stress making. That could drag you down if you let it. Try not to let it, because this is important. Let yourself deal with this. You need to deal with this before you can move forward. And you'll know what it is once you step through the door, basically. So yeah, just basically give yourself the time to deal with it. This is going to stay where it is. Like, you're not going to lose this. You're not losing, you've only just stepped through the door. You're not losing it. You're not losing the realization. You're not losing momentum. You've taken one step, basically. So yes, my goodness, this rune, this reading, I know you're really excited, but this reading doesn't have you galloping yet. But it's sort of like, it does though, because we start with the horse. What is helping you is the horse, but it's reversed. And then what's helping you is Nauthiz, but it's reversed. So this was a huge, exciting thing, and you're meeting your challenge. You're stepping through the door, and you're doing a lot of energetic running around, but it's all inside. So it is like this really exciting quest. You are galloping, but it's all internal that's happening. Like, it's really like it's almost like it's an inner quest happening that you have to sort out, which is like very exciting. And I mean, I'm just to go past this where we don't actually see in the spread. I think that this is preparing, like, this is, you think you're ready for the quest, but you're not going to be ready for the quest until you get to this point and maybe beyond. But this is not going anywhere. This is like really exciting, and you'll still have this, but it's like you have to be changed by it first. Before you go out and change the world with it, it needs to change you first. In a good way. It's like not a bad thing, but it's like you need to become the correct bearer of this thing. So going back to the reading, your next step after this is Isa. Isa is the rune of ice. Ice is the rune of standstill. It's the stillness through which clarity comes. So it's like, this, see what I mean? Like, this is all internal stuff that's happening. Like, you're ready to go out on this quest, but then in order to take on this quest and in order to enact this quest, you need to become the thing that can do this quest. So after you have had this realization and you've dealt with it, you have a moment where you're not moving forward. You feel like you can't move forward, but you're getting clarity coming in like crazy. You're like, I'm just getting like, it's like almost like a download kind of thing. Like even more of this, like this was big and in your face. This is like continuing and filling you out in all the empty spaces. So be open to that. That's what's going to help you at this point. Is you thought you were ready. You're not. But you thought you were. It was enough to get you through the door, enough to start. But then here you are, after you've had this realization, you're still, but you're getting all this stuff. And this is the blank rune. Obviously, this is a new addition to the Elder Futhark, not a part of the original Elder Futhark. But anyway, it's being open, but it's also connection to the divine, whatever the divine is for you. So it's like this felt like this moment, the light coming through the clouds, and now. This is more of that. This is like, okay, I'm going back to getting more light from the clouds, and I'm just going to basically, if I can't move forward, then I'm just taking in what is coming in. So you're basically moving forward, but really, really internally, like getting all this clarity coming in. What isn't going to help is you're going to feel like you are going to worry that the door is closing kind of thing. Like you're feeling like I went through the door and now I feel like I'm losing my momentum, which you never had yet, but you are becoming what you need to. So just basically trust this, what's coming in for you, because you are taking the steps forward on this quest. It's just the first few are you becoming what you need to be. So here you are, you're getting these downloads and these more, the clarity that's coming in from whatever the divine is for you, and also just being open to what is coming into you. At the end of the spread, we have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. This has to do with beginnings and birth. This is you becoming. Like, this is like the beginnings of you becoming something completely new. This is the beginnings of your absolute rebirth. It's like deep incubation stuff. It's Berkana reversed, basically. So on one hand, it's like, I want to do this beginning. I'm having to back burner this beginning because I am becoming something new that is what I need to be to begin this properly. You did begin because you got through the door, and that was a huge step, and that's the step that you're at. All of this, of course, the whole question was about finding belonging. You are becoming a thing. It's not like you're becoming something that you aren't. You're becoming more of who you need to be and more of who you are, and you're blooming and becoming, and it's going to be all you. So you don't have to be anything that you aren't. Nothing should expect you to do that, but you are becoming something that you never thought you could be as far as truly who you are. And this is starting from, I'm going to say again, like a molecular level. This is like a rebirth kind of thing happening. So eventually, one would assume that you'll be the thing that you need to be to move out into the world and carry on this quest. Right now, you're not. Right now you are focusing on yourself. You're finding belonging within. This is exactly the rune that I drew when I said, what am I reading about today? Only I drew it like this, which is your part, the humanity and your part in it. You need to find your part in yourself, where you have that sense of belonging with yourself before you move out and try to find belonging amidst humanity. Which you already do, but you have to find that belonging within yourself first. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading for finding belonging. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye! Hello, card number 4, people. So let's get started by turning the card, and we're seeing what the key is to your finding belonging with the Queen of Swords. Okay, so you are nurturing truth. You're nurturing the truthful expression of things. So basically, the honesty is going to be huge for you, and you are going to be going where this is something that is nurtured. This is something that is, this is where it comes from, basically. So you're going to be very, very focused on truth. Look at the little bird. Truth is going to be essential for your sense of belonging, and you are going to be very good about, look at the sword and also Isa together, and look at that. Yeah, because I think you've been fed up with things that are just not, like, people not being truthful, not being true to themselves, not being honest with anything, and you're just like fed up with it, and you're like, look, this is not for me. If I'm going to belong anywhere, it's going to be where there is a nurturing of truth in around me. So I'm just going to lay out the entire, there's Hagalaz. I didn't see Hagalaz this entire set of readings until this moment, so I'm happy to see Hagalaz. It's our outcome. See, there you go. Okay, central issue, card number 4, people, is Isa. Isa's the rune of ice. Ice is the standstill rune. It has to do with stillness, but also clarity. It's the stillness through which clarity comes. Leading up to this, we have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. It's exactly the rune that I drew, only like this, when I asked what I'm reading about today. Sense of belonging, finding belonging. You have just been like extremely, supremely turned off by just the din of humanity and all their little ridiculous delusions and lies, etc. It's just like you feel like you just can't. You feel like you've lost a lot of faith in people. You've lost a lot of trust. You just can't look at people without being miserable, and they're reflecting that misery back at you, and it's just blah. You've had enough. You're going to find belonging with yourself first. So like, to heck with that. So here you are. You've shut the door on the din of humanity, and you're sitting in the quiet at last, and you're like, okay, what do I really truly need? Like, what is it that I want to look for as far as where I want to belong? And you're going to let that come in. And I saw this exact situation, like this exact placement in the previous reading, where it's Isa, which is the rune of stillness, but it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So you're going to be getting a lot of clarity, and where's it coming from is being open to whatever you consider to be the divine. So whether this is your traditional idea of the divine, or whether this is just the universe and what it's going to show you, or whether this is a sense of higher self that is going to be feeding, like letting this come through to you, or any of that, like whatever you consider the divine in your life, the natural grace, natural pace of things, like the natural truth of things, it's going to come down to you from that. And so the important thing at this point, once you've shut the door on humanity because you're fed up with them, you're going to sit in the quiet, and you're going to be like, okay, what is true for me? What is my truth, and what is it that I really want to have around me, that where I won't get fed up with it? And let that come through. Be open to what comes through, and just be still and let that come. What isn't going to help you is we have Berkana, which is the rune of beginnings. It's the birch tree, so it's the rune of beginnings and birth. You're worried about starting something new. Like, this was, you've been out, you stuck it out for a long time with the other humans, and it's like, shut the door. And then you're like, I don't want to have to start over. I really don't. And I think, it's just like, it's a very positive rune in a negative spot, which means it's worries about that thing. It's like, just start. The idea of starting again is just like almost as exhausting as what you left behind. So, but that's not helping you. Like, if you just keep thinking about it, it's like, I have to start over and it's going to be all this work, that's going to drag you down. Just bring yourself back up to where you are, just being open. Like, you're not starting anything yet. You're just basically, because I think in a lot of senses, like, there probably were good things out there that you were fine with. And that I think if you just find those little sparks and those little seeds and spend more time with them, then that's what's going to be, then that's going to bloom around you into what is going to be a much more comfortable surrounding for you. So if you are starting to feel like that and it's dragging you down, bring yourself back up to just being open to whatever you consider the divine is showing you. That's going to help you move forward through this in this stillness moment. Your next step is you're going to take what you learned from this, from what came through, what the clarity that came through when you were being still, and you're going to really focus on that. We have Kanaz, which is the rune of the torch. It's the fire. When it's upright, it's expansion. When it's reversed on a more positive line, like the middle line or the upper line, it's more about hard focus. You're basically like, okay, I know what I need. I'm going to take this in my teeth and I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to move forward with that because I'm not going to lose sight of it. I'm going to hold to this with all my might, with the tightest grip that I can. And I'm going to keep my focus on that because that's what I'm looking for in my life to expand on. What's going to help you with that is we have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. This has to do with source energy. So whatever it is that whenever you connect with it, whether it's something that you do or something that you look at or something that you just basically, I don't know, listen to or whatever. It's like, it could be going out in nature. It could be creating something. It could be listening to music. Whatever it is that no matter when you do it, it always gives you energy. Keep that on hand because that's going to help you keep your focus. So if you start to feel like you're faltering, do this. Like go out for that walk that you need, or have that bath that always relaxes you and gives you energy, or listen to that music that always energizes you, and you'll be right back to moving forward. But with I'm not going to say with like blinders on, but it's like with blinders on. It's like you're blocking out everything except for the shining light of your path that you know you need to take at this point. What isn't going to help is sort of just a continuation of, I don't want to have a new beginning. It's just like all the steps. We have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. But in the lower line, it's just like impatience. You're just like, I'm just impatient with this. It's like, I want this to be over with. I don't have to take all these steps. This is like beginning again, and I am already tired. Well, we know what to do if you're tired. If you're tired, tap into what gives you source energy. It's like, that's basically, the answer. It's like once it gets to the point where like, oh, it's a slog, give yourself that. Give yourself whatever it is that always energizes you, and you will be okay to keep going. Your next step on this path line is Hagalaz. Hello, Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the hailstorm. This has to do with, it's like meanings like chaos and also, things that are out of your control, but it's also natural forces, natural energies. It's like your true nature, things like that. So basically, once you have had this in your hand enough, you're going to be more comfortable because you will have had this practice focusing, and you've got this nice dance going on where you have this hard focus and you're moving forward with that and really focused on what you need, cutting through all the crap. And whenever you start to falter, you can always replenish yourself. You know what there is for that. You're keeping that on hand. So then you are walking into the storm. It's like you open the door again. Like this was a big storm. So you open the door again and you can step out into the storm because you have these tools. You know what you're doing, and you can walk out into the storm and it's not a problem. You also remember that you are also a force of nature. And you also remember that hail is weather. All this craziness, it's weather. None of this is permanent. It's not going to be what it is right now all the time. What is going to help you at that point is we have Algies, which is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as the moose. And this has to do with protection and support. It's not reversed, it's outer. So you will have either things around you like this, or systems around you that are going to make you feel protected and supported, or you will have, by this point, gathered some people around you who you feel protected and supported with. So you will have a support system. You will have a support, perhaps small group, but this is who you're going to turn to and what you're going to turn to as you step out into the storm, and as you are remembering that you too are a force of nature. What isn't going to help is we have Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. This may be a worry about needs coming up, like your needs in this may get overwhelming, and you may feel like, man, I'm going to go back in where I can close the door on all of this. So that might drag you down. It might also drag you down where you're worried about needs coming up that are going to make you so frustrated you're going to go back. It's like this whole thing that's like, you wanted to do this, you wanted to not have a new beginning, and you didn't want all the steps, and then you get out here, it's like, I'm already tired. Again, you have what to do to replenish your energy, and at this point in this path, you will have at least a very small support system, or also support a couple people that are helping you to feel supported and protected. So that's what's going to help you when you start to feel like you have needs. We all have needs as you move forward into the storm. What this is going to lead you to by the time you get through this first storm after you open the door again, you are going to be galloping. We have Avaz, which is the rune of the horse. This has to do with movement and spirit. You're going to be moving forward really, really well. All of this will serve you well, like these three especially. And you are going to be just galloping forward. The other thing about the horse's spirit. So you're letting your spirit carry you, whatever spirit is for you, whatever you consider that, let that carry you. If you start to flag, let your spirit carry you forward because it knows. And that will be really, really good. And that is your reading for Finding Belonging. Card number 4, people. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.